Hi my lovelies and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 14. I think we're on day 14. I am losing the plot of the days for some reason. Oh gosh, wow. Update on the washing machine, still hasn't been repaired. The guy's meant to be coming today, but still no confirmation. So it's starting to really get on my nerves a little bit now. You know, Mount Brimham washing and all the rest of it. I'm going through my drawer, my dressing table drawer, because I fancy doing a little bit of like face mask and stuff like that. I'm looking to see if I had any more peel off masks. I don't know that I do. I can't actually find any. Let's have a look. Pop my glasses on. Right, macadamia. What's this one here? Oh, that's for my hair anyway. Could do with that as well. That again is the bubble mask. I don't fancy, mind you, it's brilliant, but I just don't fancy using that today. What's this one here? Exfoliating mask. I'll just take that one off. Let's have a look. I've not used this one before. I'll exfoliate your skin with the avocado oil and walnut granules to gently wash away dead skin cells and deeply moisturise. Oh, so literally you just put it on, you massage, leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes and take it off. So I think I might use that. Get it open, look. Right then. Put these other ones away. I might leave the foot pack out and do my feet. They could do with a little bit of TLC. That's the foot one, so I might use that one in a minute. Okay. Bad boy open. How's all the Christmas wrapping going? Oh, all the lovely little beads. That's nice. Mine is a success. I can honestly say I have wrapped every single present now. So I am done and dusted, and what we haven't got we go without. Got the meat on order at the farm shop for Christmas, so that's all on order, just ready to be picked up on the, can't remember, I think it might be the 23rd, the 22nd or 23rd, something like that. Yeah, so that's all sorted. I'm going to do, between now and Christmas, I'm picking up the odd, you know, like the jars of pickles, and I used to make them all back in the day, but I just haven't got it in me anymore to do it. So yeah, starting to pick up all of those. Yesterday I picked up a load. What did I get yesterday? Pickled eggs, pickled beetroot, piccalilli, Branston pickle, applesauce, mint sauce, cranberry sauce, whole selection, smoked salmon, you know, some of the bits and bobs like that. I made a start anyway. I've already got nuts and sweets. I got Turkish Delight yesterday as well. I do like Turkish Delight and dates. I love those. Just several bits and bobs ready for Christmas. So we're not doing everything at the last minute. So we'll have all my fruit and veg to get, and salad, that type of thing. Oh, I know what we got yesterday as well. We got croissants. We always have those in the morning for breakfast. I got the just roll ones, so there you just bake them in the oven. I do love Christmas, but now for wind up, isn't it? It's not like it was back in the day, is it really? I can remember when I was a child, you know, I didn't have one of those great big stockings or sacks like the kids do now. Like I've even bought my children, so I'm not just saying, you know, I haven't done it, because I have. But my traditional Christmas when I was a child was a pillowcase. I used to take a pillowcase up to bed with me, and I would in the morning, you know, when you've woken up and it's he's been and first thing you do is obviously you look through your stocking, And I can remember in mine, I'd have satsuma, I'd have some nuts at the bottom, I'd have some gold coins, the chocolate coins. I would always have a little round tin of toffees, usually toffees. In fact, I think mine were always toffees, and they'd have like a lovely sort of festive picture on. I would always get like a colouring book and colouring pencils in my stocking. What else did I get? Oh, might be like a yo-yo, bubbles, that type of thing. Quite simple things, you know. And then generally for my main present it would be something like, and I absolutely loved it and I asked for it every single year, was a post office set. I used to love my post office set. Basically it was like, you know, when you used to go into the post office when, like, if you were my age when we were kids, and they'd sit there with like their stamp thing, and they'd bang it in there and they'd stamp it on there, and they'd turn over all the pages for the all that sort of thing, all the old type of fashion stuff. And I used to love my post office set, really did. And I also always used to have, sometimes I'd have like a sweet shop set, and as you took everything out of the box, the packaging would be like the backdrop of the shop, and then you'd have like your little containers with your sweets in, and if I had a till, the till would become part of my shop, or if I had a nurse's outfit, then that would be my special present that year. I can also remember having what I call, well now I call them tarts trotters, but back then I used to call them my clip clops, you know, the first sort of princess high heel plastic shoes. You used to put your foot in and they used to have a little bit just going across, all glittery and sparkly going across your foot and the little heel, and as you walk they go clip clop along with the false nails. And the false nails were literally little ends that went, little things that went over the end of your finger down to about here, I guess, about here, sort of down to the first sort of digit of your fingers, and they'd be like a skin colour, flesh colour, and then they'd have like this really long red nail. So you'd have your clip cloppers on, go clip clop, you'd have your nurse's bag with you, you'd have your false nails on and your red lipstick that came in that set with the nails, and it was literally a plastic lipstick that didn't do anything, it was just red, a red painted plastic. You'd pretend to put all that on your lips, and then I'd go to work in the post office doing my stamping and my licking the stamps, and then I'd go to the shop and I'd be on my till. How can I help you? All like this, you know. And I was still playing with dolls at about 12, 13, you know. Now, crikey, what a blooming difference. If you're 12 and 13 now, you're getting makeup sets, you're getting mobile phones, you're getting Michael Kors handbags and stuff like that. It's just incredibly different, isn't it? But it's a sign of the times. It's how it was. How many of you used to make your, do you remember making stilts out of like string and tin cans? And well, my granddad used to do them for me, and he used to drill holes in the tin cans that had all been like washed out, and he'd drill either side, and then he'd put string in and tie the string so that was knotted inside of the tin can, and you'd turn the tin can upside down so the open bit was on the ground, you'd stand on the flat bit, and you'd have your strings and they'd be like your stilts, and you'd be walking along on your stilts. How funny. But do you know what? I am so glad that that was my childhood. I really, really am, because I don't know if kids have got that in common. I mean, they might have stilts, mightn't they? But they're not going to be the same as we did it back then. And What else did I have? Let me think. Well, for sure, back in when I was a kid, we didn't have anything like central heating at all. We didn't have a telephone in our house until I was probably about 14 or 15. And yeah, I can remember our house was so cold. We had the best room, which is the front room, and then we had the back room, which had a sofa in it and armchair sofa, but it also had like the dining table, so it was a bit like the everyday room. And we had a coal fire in each of those rooms, but the front room was literally for Sundays and best. So if anybody came, if you had visitors, they would be taken into the front room. That had the best three-piece suite, and it had the piano and the best coffee table, and everything was the best in that room. But on a day-to-day basis, we lived out in the back room. And yeah, my nan would, because I was brought up by my nan and granddad. Yeah, in the kitchen she had, you know, like the old dryers that you'd wind down, and they were like the slats of wood. So she had that, and we'd be drying the clothes over those and pulling it all back up, and up it would go to the ceiling. And the washing would only be done once a week, and that was on a Monday. And she'd get her boiler out, her copper out, and she'd have a mangle. And then as the years went on, she upgraded and got a twin tub washing machine. Yeah. And we used, she did the washing in Omo washing powder, and also she used like the red Lifebuoy soap for doing some of the washing as well. The draining board was wooden. She had these wooden tongs, big long wooden tongs for like the washing and pulling it out of the copper, and then putting that into this. It was rinsed, and then it would go into the mangle. I can remember her doing this bit, me standing the other end, so as the sheets were coming through, I'd be catching them. Gosh, memories, eh? And then another thing that I remember doing with a lot of fondness is my nan used to go to jumble sales, and I love a good old jumble sale. I've been to one for ages, in fact years, but she used to go to jumble sales, and she used to buy jumpers and things, give them a good old wash, and then she'd unpick them. So she'd unpick all the wool, and I'd be stood there like this, yeah, and as she'd be pulling the wool off like this, off of the garment, and then I'd be like catching it in my, she'd be wrapping it around my hands, so it went into a nice sort of spool, I suppose. But yeah, I remember all of that as well. Oh, so funny, isn't it, when you think back? But I absolutely loved my childhood, I really did. We didn't have a lot, but it was happy. When I was with my nan, it was happy. I never went hungry. She wasn't dirty. She was really clean, really house proud. Yes, it was cold. I used to have a couple of hot water bottles in the bed to warm up the bed before I got in, because it was that, always got that shock, didn't you, that cold shock where it was so cold. But with the hot water bottles, that made it nice and cosy. And she used to have, because I was always a chesty kid anyway, so she'd have like a camphor little burner thing on the fireplace in the bedroom, because of course the bedrooms had fireplaces as well. So that was to sort of help me breathe. And I remember, oh my goodness me, in the mornings my toothbrush would be frozen to the inside of the windowsill. It was that cold, honestly, because no central heating or anything. We did have a, as I say, coal fire downstairs. We had, on the landing, she had a paraffin heater, which was normal back then, so just keep the chill off upstairs. It didn't make it warm, but it kind of took the chill off just a little bit. Most of the flooring was lino back then with the rugs on as well. My nan was always down on her hands and knees polishing the flipping lino, and you'd come in and break your neck. Oh dear. As I say, wash day was a Monday. That was the only time that the washing was done. It was all saved to Monday. The whites were done first, and then it went to the colours, and then it went to the dark, all in the same water. And I only had a bath once a week. That was a Sunday, and I'd have my bath, then my nan would jump in my water afterwards, and the rest of the week it would be a lick and a promise, yeah, like a stripped down wash. But I tell you what, it didn't do me any harm whatsoever, and I'm pretty sure that we probably had a hell of a lot less colds back then than kids do today. We didn't have the central heating breeding germs. We ate food that was wholesome and homely and cooked at home. Didn't get any sort of prepared food anywhere. In actual fact, I can remember the only sort of takeaway we had, I think, was a fish and chip shop, and that wasn't even local. But you used to be able to go in, if you wanted to, you could go in and say, "Can I have a bag of scraps, please?" And then all the little bits that used to fall off of like the fish, the batter, that sort of thing, collected at the bottom of the fryers, they'd scoop all that out and put it in the draining bit where all the fat drained off. And as I say, you could go in and get a bag of scraps if you wanted to for nothing. And that was it. That I wish they would do that now, because there's so many people out there that are hungry that could have that, and it would be warm, not nutritional, I know, but something warm to eat. That would be, if only they could do that now. Yeah, so funny. And then on a Sunday bath night, it would be a teaspoon of cod liver oil, it would be a teaspoon of arrowroot, it would be a teaspoon of this and a teaspoon of that. Keep everything going. Oh, so funny. But I could go on. And in actual fact, my kids, they love hearing me talk about this, because, you know, I've obviously taken a lot of my traditions that I was brought up with, I've taken them into raising my own children, but clearly not all of them, because you don't have to do those things anymore, you know. So I do like to tell them, and I like to tell my grandchildren about it. And of course my children, I remember them saying to me, "Oh mummy, when you were little, did you used to write with a feather?" Was the world black and white? Because obviously black and white photographs. So funny. Oh. Was electricity invented when you were little? That's the other thing I've had. Gosh, I must think I'm ancient. But, and then we all had, everybody, wherever you lived, you always had very close by, you'd have like a shop, a corner shop or whatever, a grocery shop, and in there would be everything. There would be, like, you could buy the meat, so you've got like a little butcher's in there, and there would be a post office in there, and there might be a little off licensee bit in there. And I can remember going to the shop for my nan and getting, buying sugar and buying salt, and it was in a block, and it would be either wrapped in brown paper or put into a brown paper bag back then. Yeah. But we used to have things like stews, lots of lovely stews. And of course, we had a nice big back garden, we had chickens, we had a vegetable plot, we had fruit trees and everything. So, you know, we'd have lots of stews with all the fresh veg, etc. from the garden, and lovely fresh eggs. So it was all very wholesome. And then of course my nan would make the dumplings. But every week the same day's meal was always the same. So it would be like on a Sunday, it would be a roast. We'd always have a roast. And on Monday it would be the cold cuts from the roast, and then on the Tuesday it might be, there'd still be a little bit of meat left, So she might make rissoles, or she might make like a suet pastry and lay what little bits of meat there are left in that and roll it up and steam it on the cooker. Yeah, so it was all very, very wholesome food. And I didn't go hungry at all. As I say, we weren't dirty and we were well fed. And I've only got happy memories. And we would go out to play for hours and hours and hours. And we'd go and build dens. And it would be our tummies that took us home because we were hungry. It wouldn't be because we were cold or it was raining. We'd just entertain ourselves, and yeah, it would be our stomachs that would take us home at the end of the day. But great memories. I'd love to hear some of yours. I really would love to hear some of yours, so if you could leave me a comment, oh, it would just make my day to read all the things that you can remember. I just love it. Nostalgia, eh? Who loves a bit of nostalgia? I do. I'll see you tomorrow, guys, in my next Vlogmas video. I'm going to go and get this off my face. It's actually gone quite dry, and I didn't know what it would do because I haven't used it before. And I think as I wash it off, all these little beads in here are so tiny. As I wash it off, they're going to do all the exfoliation. So I'm going to go get this off now and slather myself in moisturiser. And as I say, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, my lovelies. Bye. Hi guys, it's only me again. I thought I'd quickly pop back on just to let you see what the face mask is like once I've actually washed it off. Face is super soft, it feels lovely. So I've just put face oil on actually, and I haven't put any moisturiser on, just the face oil, and it feels really lovely. So I definitely recommend that particular face mask. I got it in Home Bargains. It's a little pack of 2 sachets, and I think it was about 39p, something silly like that. Definitely well worth getting. Bye.